married an 11-year-old boy. Now let's change it. A 27-year-old man marries an 11-year-old boy. You are already mad thinking about what they doing. You ready to kill them, ain't you? And if they was on the streets, if it was a 27-year-old man, almost 30 years old, messing with an 11-year-old boy, what would you do? But your government allowed officially a 27-year-old to marry an 11-year-old. But on the streets, you would have that person killed, wouldn't you? Come on, stop playing with me. If a 27-year-old boy, man, was found to be penetrating an 11-year-old boy, y'all would kill him. Come on. I don't care what walk of life he came from. Y'all most likely would kill that man. But your American government made it official. Put a ring on it. Put a ring on it. The American government put a ring on it. Let a 27-year-old marry. This ain't a game, guys. 27-year-old marry 11-year-old. And here's the punchline. They walking around here like they got something on you. This is what we talking about, man. This is why this is why we want this defeated. This is why we want them to resign. Because that community is out here playing games, and here they are letting a 27-year-old individual marry an 11-year-old child. And people asking, what do you have against America? They asking, what do you have against America? Well, you want to know? Do you really want to know the real list of what we have against America per se? They got 44 states with child marriage. That's official. See how they get dumb, folks, is they tell you, oh, the judge and the clerks gotta see if if the child is fit to be married. And in some cases, the parents, they have to give parental consent. That's so pitiful and pathetic, ain't it? Ain't that so pitiful and pathetic of an excuse? And see somebody smart like me pull up and say, but here's the problem. The American government made it an option, and this is where we have the problem. This is where we want them to resign, because they made it an option for your children to be married in this country. It's an option. It's on the table. Well, where children can be married, it's an option in your country. Why they locking up R. Kelly? Why they locking up other child molesters? Why they got all these registered sex offenders? But then on the other side of this situation, they got child marriage. This is why, listen, guys, these are the two mammoth reasons why anarchy is on the way. On one side, you know what anarchy means? For folks that don't really know, it means a lawless, basically chaos, basically a lawless society. See, you thought anarchy was going to come because people just got so unruly and couldn't take no more. Anarchy is coming because it's too many contradictions. I see how it's going to happen. It's too much contradictions. Hear this part very closely. It's too many contradictions in the American laws. Contradictions. Where you have child marriage over here, but you locking up R. Kelly over there. So why should we obey any of these laws is my question. You want to obey a law system that has within it 44 states with child marriage. Do you feel like you should obey that? Now let's keep it 100. Do you feel like police should be working for people that do that? Well, they're enforcing laws. How can they enforce laws when that same system is marrying children? You see how it really is? How can they enforce? How can you actually be a police officer, especially a Christian one? How can you be a Christian policeman in 2022 when you ain't ignorant no more? How can you be of this situation? How can you be a law enforcer when you know they marrying children, but you going and locking up a child molester, but they marrying children over here? That's a 7. See, I coined the term that this is a law basically a law of conflict, because it is a contradiction as far as integrity, it contradicts the integrity of the good laws. Okay, you got good laws when you locked up child molesters. You got good laws when you lock up people that rape children. But you got laws also that allows 44 states to marry children. That's a 7. So how can you enforce? You see where I'm going with this? How can you enforce the child molestation laws, all of them, when you got child marriage laws? It's the same nature of activity. The nature of the activity is the same because the ages of the individuals are the same. The ages of the individuals are the same. I just showed you. Fully grown adults marrying children, right? It's the same ages you would trip, and I already showed you. Fully grown adults marrying children. Fully grown adults interacting sexually with children. You would respond differently concerning child molesters than you have responded towards child marriage. It's the same nature, folks. It's the same nature. It's the same thing. It's the same ages. It's the same thing. Only thing different is they cloaking it for their own integrity as child marriage. They're cloaking it. This is a cloak. It's the same nature, folks. Child molestation. Okay, let's say you have a 10-year-old girl, right? Let's just say the predator is 53. You got a 10-year-old with a 53-year-old. That person going to jail. Bottom line. But in some cases, right here in America, they can marry a 10-year-old girl, and we've seen it right here in the state of Tennessee. 3 10-year-old girls married to fully grown adults. That's the bottom line. But let someone go out without marriage licenses and do the same thing. If they go out without marriage licenses and do the same thing, they're treated differently, and the nature of the situation is still the same. The nature of the situation is still the same. The nature of the situation is still the same. It's the same nature. It's the same exact activity. Being married ain't doing no difference when the age gap is like that. The age gap is that big. It ain't no different in the nature of the situation. These are fully grown men and women using your American system. Your American system, hold up, let me put it like this. Like I've been saying it. Your American system gave these adults the option to marry children. Now, who are you concerned with? Children messing around with each other or fully grown adults messing around with children? Someone under 18 messing around with children, which we don't got no control over really, or fully grown adults messing around children because the American government gave them an option to marry the child. How can you be a judge? That's why I'm telling you, the anarchy is on the way. You might think I'm crazy. I'm telling you, it is here. As soon as people find this out, it's just a matter of time. How can you be a judge up there prosecuting people when you got prosecuting child molesters, but then you got gay marriage down the hall? You got child marriage down the hall from the same room you just prosecuted a child molester. You just prosecuted a child molester. Right down the hall, they can get licensed to marry a child. What if they go right out and marry a child after that? Nah, they can't do it because they got to be registered. But you get my point. It's the same nature, folks. It's the same thing, whether you like it or not. They just making you put a ring on it so it looks good. They covering their butt. Like, well, if you want to have sex with that child, you got to marry him. And it's almost like, but it ain't like how people force you to marry someone after you get them pregnant. Well, if you pregnant, you got to get married. Well, you like that little girl, you got to get married. You like that little boy, you got to get married. It's ridiculous. 11 years old, a 27-year-old woman, probably got plenty weight on her. 27? She probably got plenty weight. She gonna be the height she is. For the rest of her life, she already that height. She ain't got no more growing to do at 27. She's a fully grown woman marrying an 11-year-old boy. And your American government has allowed it. They have allowed the option for these individuals that I told you about. In Idaho, 2010, 65-year-old man marries a 17-year-old girl. In Alabama, 74-year-old man marries a 14-year-old girl. 3 10-year-old girls married in Tennessee in 2001. The men were 24, 25, 31. The youngest boy married was an 11-year-old boy who was married to a 27-year-old woman. I told you I ain't nothing to play with, folks. You think I'm playing and I'm not. And see, you think, oh, well, you must really love the children. Well, it's not really that, though. I'm just being 100. It's not really, I so love the children. It's the fact that these people contradict themselves with laws and with justice and with injustices. You sitting around trying to talk about who's doing what and what is being done. You're talking about all of that, right? But look at you, man. You sitting up here got child marriage in your country. You got child marriage in your country. And you sitting up here running around like John Wayne trying to find witch hunt pedophiles. And that goes for all you little guys that's out there. You know the type. You ever seen those videos where there's a little kid involved or a group of young people involved and they're trying to catch some predator on like a social media platform, and so they make up fake profiles, right? You seen that before. Little buddy, why you and all the adults involved, while y'all making up fake profiles and playing games and acting like and lingering around trying to catch predators outside, playing with yo-yos trying to catch predators outside. While you doing that, they got 44 states with child marriage. I'm pretty sure you know what you're doing, right? You're trying to catch predators. Okay? You know what you're doing. So how come you can't see that your government has child marriage? Child marriage that gives an option to the American public to marry children. It's an option. Right now in October 2022, it's an option. And this is where we win. This is where we beat even you. Because you've been doing all that little scrambling around, catching a predator here and a predator there. We're going straight for the jugular. And you should have been educated on who's doing what. You stepping out here trying to catch little pedophiles with kids playing yo-yos, playing with yo-yos. Yo, you got 44 states with child marriage. That's a 7. And which some people say, well, I'm trying to do what I can. No, you need to be educated. We ain't trying to hear that. Before you come out here playing out here in the jungle, you need to be educated on your own country and its nature. And your country is marrying children, 44 states. It allows adults the option out here in America. Okay? The American public has the option in 44 states in America to marry children. You needed to be educated. The first thing you want to say, well, I'm doing my part. I'm doing what I can. No. Before you do your part, you get the education. That's a 7. Before you think you even doing something, before you think you even enforcing the laws, you need to be educated on the laws. Suckers? Yeah, you a sucker in that case. Because you're ignorant and uneducated on the very thing that you're trying to enforce laws on. You got 44 states out here with child marriage, and you try to enforce laws on child molesters. This is ridiculous. It's a joke. It's a joke. You up here trying to enforce laws. That's law enforcement's included. You out here trying to enforce laws and you got 44 states with child marriage. Can't be serious. Bro, you can't be serious, bro. That's a joke. And that's what I'm telling you. That's why anarchy is on the way, because people are going to wake up and realize, hey, man, we've been deceived this whole time. You knew it was something top secret in the government. This is it. The only thing is it wasn't top secret. They did what most criminals do. You know what most criminals do? Most criminals do it right in your face. That's how you know who real thugs. They know that little nugget of information right there. A real criminal do what they do. They do the crimes right in your face. That's how they do it. Right there in your face, and you don't even know they're doing it. That's the same thing what these people did that passed these laws, these politicians. They did it right there in your face. It's public information. 44 states marrying children is public information. I didn't have to go in no bunker like James Bond and shoot my way through bunkers. I did not have to do that. You can go right, put in the Google search, 44 states, child marriage in America, and voila, there it is. Voila, it's right there. 44 states marry children. Didn't have to go to no bunker to get it. Didn't have to have no 380 with a silencer on it to do it. and you playing around me. You playing around me. You a joke. You in your community, the whole part of it. You a joke. I win. We win. You clowns. You got 44 states with child marriage. Your government allows it as an option. And you have another law. Oh, you thought that was it? That's why a hearse is pulling up for you. It's pulling up for your community. That hearse is slowly but surely driving on into your driveway. Pulling up just for you. It's all for you. Soon we'll be having fun. I will, you won't. 44 states with child marriage is one law. The age of consent is under the age of 18 in 40 states. That's the most solid one we got right there. For the alliances, those who are in alliance with me, the greatest law that we have is the age of consent under 18, under the age of adult in 40 states. That's the second law. This is the most solid one we have because the bottom line is, okay, listen, with this one, let me say the bottom line. The bottom line is, with the age of consent under 18 in 40 states, that law is adults penetrating children's vaginas. In 40 states, that's children's vagina. The age of consent under 18 in 40 states. The age of consent where a child can say yes to sex without parents. This is the serious law because children can go out there and do what they want to do. They ain't got no money hardly. I don't know any 16, 17-year-old girls that got a bank account full of money. So if they have a child, what's going to happen? They're going to end up on food stamps, which is a liability for the government. That's a 7. So because you got the age of consent under 18 in 40 states, you making the whole government liable, you morons. You making them liable for concerning them having kids, idiots. Oh, you thought it was just a sex thing. Well, then why you, okay, this is where you're stupid. Because these children are having children and you're liable. Why are you liable for children having children if it's all about the sex in this situation? If you think it is in reality, if it's all about the sex, then if that's the only outcome, then why are you liable when these children have kids? Somebody go get on food stamps. Somebody gonna get some government assistance, which makes you liable because you made the age of consent under 18 in 40 states. These Americans, you know how they are. 16 and 17-year-old girls do not need to be out here having no sex in America with these crazy fools out here. Think about it. Think about it. You talking about all the 20-year-olds, all the 30-year-olds, all the 40-year-olds, all the 50-year-olds. They're surrounded by all of that. All the men, 20s and the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, even the 60s. Early 60s, them guys. You got them surrounded by all of that. And guess what? If they do something with one of them, you can't go get the police. Oh, you'll be taking the law in your own hands. Because you can't go get the police. They're going to say, sir, she's legally able to be with this man. She can say, yeah, she want to have sex with this man, and you can't do nothing about it. And I, as law enforcement, can do nothing about it. And the government can't do nothing about it. Because they passed the laws that allow her to. And now she got a baby on the way. And you're liable, and the American government is liable. So see what I'm saying? Do you see what I am telling you? I am showing you. Do you see it? It's nothing correct about this. Because if it ain't the age thing, it's the financial part of a child probably most likely being a virgin, probably most likely, or they gonna have children quick. They gonna have children quick, I promise you that. And that makes you liable as the American government when you know they ain't got no bank accounts. Ain't no 16, 17-year-old girls walking around with no damn bank accounts. And so guess what that means? You become liable, financially speaking, as well. Not only are you liable as far as morality, you are liable as far as finances, where now you got to pull out of the government your monies to help children that done had babies based on your laws allowing them to have sex, therefore babies. See that part? And you can act like it's cool. You can be quiet as a church mouse, but we got you. Because you went around playing with me. You went around playing with other people. You don't think we know? You doing it in the neighborhoods. You doing it at the stores. We know all the games you playing and doing. We know about it. Oh, you don't think I know? I got a real relationship with God. And I ain't had one person inform me of none of it. And I know everything. Because I pay attention. And the Holy Spirit shows me what you're doing. And guess what else he showed me that you're doing? You got 44 states with child marriage, man. You dead. All that stuff you did, you dead. God is going to resign your country because you contradicted yourself in your actions. You went around playing with people, playing all kind of psychological games, and we find out that you got 44 states with child marriage, marrying children. So what we should want to happen to you? Oh, you should just be, what? You can't say you're a hero. We should just let you go and you're marrying children. We should let you go and you're marrying children. But out here witch hunting people like a lynch mob. That's where you die at, because we supposed to apply the same pressure to you. That's a 7, Al. We supposed to apply the same pressure to you. Right or wrong. We should be applying the same pressure to you. And if we were guilty, you would want us dead, right? So what you supposed to do? Live and go to paradise? Go get a house on the hill? You supposed to live and live out your life in paradise, and you got 44 states with child marriage. Well, that's what these government officials are doing. These government politicians are doing. They're living their lives out in Hawaii and in Puerto Rico. They're everywhere having fun. And these politicians, the ones that pass the laws, the likeness of these people, they out there in paradise. While you busting your butt under 44 states with child marriage here back in the States, mainland states, while they out in paradise, you on homeland ground, America, busting your butt under 44 states marrying children laws. That's what you're doing. We want the same pressure applied. That's what I'm asking. We want the same pressure applied. And if you don't apply it, we cursing you. I'm cursing you. No, yeah. Because you act like you so involved with children and you so love the children. Well, if you don't respond to this, I'm cursing you. If you don't do something about it, I'm cursing you and your community. All you people, you know who you are. You can try to hide, but it ain't gonna work. You know who you are. Portions of the Illuminati, Freemasons, the black portions of the black community, portions of the white community, portions of the Mexican community. If you do not comply to in response or respond to the fact that your country has an option of child marriage in 44 states, which is the same nature of any child molestation act. It's all of it. And some. If you don't respond to what they're doing, we're cursing you. And that curse gonna stick because you deserve it. You sit up and apply pressure to people, and you ain't applying pressure to your government. You are not applying, and you can't, hey, you can say what you want. But in this situation, this specific situation, if you do not apply any pressure to them, if you do nothing, if you do not challenge these people, we're going to get you. Yeah, you got yourself in the game. Yeah, we know what you're doing. But it ain't phasing me. It ain't phasing me because I know what I do. Hey, I know what I do, bro. I got a fully grown woman. I know what I do. What you do? You do 44 states with child marriage. That's what you do. That's what you do, big baby. Why you out here playing with us? You do 44 states with child marriage. And if your community do not apply the pressure, we applying the pressure in y'all and we cursing everybody. Oh yeah, there ain't no way out. Yeah, you don't get, look, listen, in the real universe and world, how you think you're going to play with someone over here, right? I'm talking about karma. I'm talking about what goes around comes around. I'm talking about that dynamic. I'm talking about that. How you gonna play with this person over here like they a child molester and you got 44 states